I finally watched X-Men 97, and I gotta say, it's a lot better than I ever expected it to be. This is one of those shows where I immediately kind of dismissed as one of those nostalgic reboots. They try to cash in, the Netflix Magic School Bus reboot. I put it in kind of that lane, so for a long time, I just kind of refused to watch it, thinking, oh, it's never gonna top the classic show that I grew up with. But I gotta say, after seeing season 1 and season 2, this show is fantastic. And I kind of regret not seeing it sooner, because the original was as great as it is. This just takes it to the next level. The tone is a lot darker than I expected. It's a lot more political than I anticipated. I mean, I know the original show kind of flirted with kind of metaphors about civil rights movement back in the 90s and this and that, but it was more along the lines of almost the Captain Planet kind of approach to it. But this show goes much, much further in kind of showing you this rift between, Xavier's philosophy compared to the more radical Magneto, and it does it in such a developed way in comparison to even what they did back then. Because up until that point, I'm watching the show and I'm liking it. It's like, okay, it's a cool revival, but it was episode 5, remember it, that shocked me, because it's like I didn't expect it to kind of get as dark as it does, and the whole storyline about Genosha. Wow, I mean that talk about kind of just completely changing the entire dynamic when it comes to the show. It's probably one of the most shocking episodes I've seen in any kind of animated TV show in terms of how it ended and how certain characters, won't say who, are dealt with. But I'm going to be honest, my favorite aspect of the show is that they brought back the whole soap opera drama that the original show was kind of really, really well known for. It's like, the idea of kind of having these kind of relationship and love triangles, with Rogue and Gambit, specifically in that first season. I was like, yeah, I like the fact that it's willing to deal with these kind of messy emotions in a genuine but soap opera type of way, as I said before. But by far, the biggest thing that this show gets right is Cyclops. I mean, for a long time, when I grew up watching the original show as a wee little robot, Cyclops was one of my favorite characters. He was this kind of strong, commanding leader. And the original X-Men 97, the original cartoon show, kind of portrayed him as such. But every subsequent adaptation, even the original X-Men movies from back in the day, they pretty much just made Cyclops not really a factor. And it basically became the Wolverine show. So to kind of get something at this level to once again put, Scott Summers, Cyclops, back into the leadership role where he always deserved to be, for me, that's like, wow. That's what won me over completely. It's like, finally, Cyclops gets the people call it a rehabilitation, but I actually think he's finally getting back his place that should have probably never been taken from him to begin with. He is the leader of the X-Men, and I'm glad this show kind of finally treats him like that. The pacing and the action also kind of caught me off guard, because the pacing of this show is just relentless. Like it moves quickly, right? It's like it's not padding it out, which kind of shocked me. I'm so kind of used to the whole kind of Marvel way of doing things where they kind of pad out a story and this and that. But no, this show is burning through storylines. Like I think they did the trial of Magneto and almost like a single episode, or even like these small two-parters, be like iconic storylines that they're just rushing through. And yet, I thought I would hate that. I thought, oh, I can't believe they're not giving this storyline like 5 or 16 episodes of this and that. But it's like, as I was kind of really getting into it, I started to realize, no, this pace is actually really, really good. It's actually working for me. And it's like, I kind of respect them for actually to be willing to just respect the audience's intelligence, to be able to keep up with this rather than kind of feeling like, well, we got to slow it down and we got to talk to them like they're 2-3-year-olds. It's like, they're like, no, we're going to respect the audience and we're going to actually go, put these storylines in front of them and expect them to kind of get it. So I actually like that. And for me, the action scenes were also awesome. Like, I don't remember the action in the 90s being as good. I actually had to go back and go, how good was the original action in the 90s show? Because the action here and the choreography, it's so smooth and well thought out. I definitely see the anime influences, the way characters are flying across the screen. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't remember the 90s show looking this good, but it's like, wow, it's very fantastic. But also, like I say, you can tell just watching this that these guys, they know the source material up and down. Like, you can tell that this was definitely written by somebody who is like a hardcore fan, right? They go like deep into these characters and to kind of obscure things you would only know if you read 2 or 3 comics or classic storylines, and they kind of blend them kind of seamlessly into like somehow a coherent narrative. So I give them a lot of credit for that. But yeah, this is, as I said at the start, this is one of those shows where I almost feel a fool for kind of, dismissing it the way I did at the start. Because as I said, I grew up with the original X-Men back in the day. For me, nothing was going to top it. And I didn't want to be in a situation where I go into one of these reboots or these so-called legacy reboots, and I'm just immediately let down. But guys, what do you think about X-Men 97? I'm enjoying it, but what about you? Do you like season 1 or season 2, or do you think it's overhyped? Let me know in the comments. I definitely want to give your thoughts on X-Men 97. But until then, I'm T-Rex 3000, and I'm out.